A bunch of you have been asking me the question, how was my time at Please Don't Kill Us, which was a creator boot camp for people who care about AI safety, where we had to publish one video per day or get kicked out. My main takeaway was that I don't want to be a solo video influencer dude. I got a lot of very good feedback on my videos, which I'm glad for. But from just a metrics perspective, my following increased basically not at all. At least on Twitter, which is my main platform. And then on Instagram, where I did get a bunch of followers, that all came because of this really winding rant that I had about Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, which is, it's not the main type of thing I talk about. So I suspect a lot of those people might start unfollowing me as the days go on. Yeah. But also, it was never really about metrics for me to begin with. Like, the reason I'm online is to have interesting discourse with other people exploring various spiritual and intellectual topics, and video doesn't seem to be a good medium for that. It doesn't really spawn deep discussion threads. And also, I find myself devoting so much attention to the technical aspects, like getting the shot right or the coloring or whatever, and the editing, that actually less deep thought is going into each thing that I put out, as opposed to tweeting or writing Substack essays, which is basically just all me thinking. And so my internal experience producing videos is being a bit more smooth-brained for the month, as opposed to my normal month, which, I'm having all sorts of interesting ponderings. A little bit disappointed. I'm like, why did I spend a whole month on that when I could have been hanging out with my goddaughter and my best friends and so on in New York City? But that said, it was a totally magical social environment. The physical campus of Lighthaven was so whimsical and enchanting. I met people who I think are probably going to be in my life for the rest of my life, a couple really powerful connections. And today I finally met Grimes, and she gave me some really great advice about how to make like cause-based art. And her main piece of advice that stuck with me was that art should feel like sex. And of course she didn't mean literal sex, but I'll leave the interpretation up to you. It was also really powerful for me to reunite with the effective altruist and artificial intelligence safety scene here in the Bay. I had been a part of that scene for like 7 years, something like that, until I got super burned out, mega depressed and sick. And I basically haven't interacted with it until I got back here in Berkeley. And yeah, people have really matured. They've realized that you have to live a flourishing life in order to keep going on this crazy cause stuff. You can't just turn yourself into a machine. And so that's been very rewarding. So this is basically just a stream of consciousness video for people who know me. I'm going to keep going. Another disappointment for me was that I had hoped to come and do some more artistic collaborations. That didn't really happen because the video per day constraint made it so that I didn't find time to do the coordination effort required to do collaborative videos, or at least ones that I wanted to do. Also, if you did a collaboration, only one person could count it as their daily video, and that made me a little bit shy asking people for their time. Yeah, so now I guess I'm on to the section of just talking about how the program was, especially for people who might consider applying. The mentorship aspect was a bit high variance for me. It was mostly these YouTubers who had often millions of followers and long-form content. So first, that was a bit of a mismatch. We were tasked with mostly making like short-form TikTok-style videos, and their expertise was making these long, often essays, visual essays on YouTube. However, they were really cool and chill and just spent their time hanging out with us, like around the fire. So that was awesome, just getting this ambient social contact with them. But I would say the mentorship wasn't very focused. Like, the extent of the mentorship was mostly them hosting a one-off session, office hours, where people would bring their videos and get to discuss them with them. But there wasn't really a kind of like daily check-in, and there wasn't really someone critiquing your videos on the regular to improve your craft. Like, people improving their craft was kind of more up to them. What else can I say? It was an insanely social environment, so people would mostly be making their videos during the day, but during lunch and dinner and afterwards, people would be hanging out just for hours, like often deep into the night. I've been hearing that people have been going to bed at like 5 a.m. I've been going to bed at 12, so that was not me. That should be a clue that I was basically the oldest one there at 36.